The gals are back for the third episode of Agatha All Along. This time, we're in wine country. As our coven has followed the witch's road all the way to their first quest, mimosas with the gals. Let's talk about episode 3 of Agatha All Along. Before I conjure up my take on this episode, why don't you conjure up that subscribe button? Go ahead and just pop that bad boy, as I'm going to be covering the entirety of Agatha All Along week to week, in addition to all the movies and TV shows I'm reviewing and talking about. It's quite a good time over here. In the previous episode, the ladies serenaded us with a beautiful song about the Witch's Road, and I went kind of all in on the songs. It was a controversial episode for me to put out. It was very polarizing. Some people didn't seem to really appreciate the musical stylings of Adam Olinger, but it happens. We've moved past it, and here we are now at a house filled with wine. But what could this mean? What's going on in this episode? Well, it turns out that this truly is a Wizard of Oz scenario where each one of these ladies in the coven is going to have to prove her worth. And this first task is pointed squarely at Jennifer Kale. Jennifer's a bit of a potions professor, so she's going to have to use all that knowledge to figure out how to get the poison out of the coven's body, because the wine they ingested is poisoned. Before they enter the house, I should point out that Mrs. Hart almost went 6 feet under when her purse gets sucked into the ground. Then she starts to go with it. The ladies pull her backwards, and she is reprimanded for not staying on the road at all times. That is of paramount importance. You could say that old bag was a precursor of what's to come for this character, because Mrs. Hart, unfortunately, not going to make it through the end of this episode. Upon entering the home, the women's appearances have been completely changed. They now look like characters out of the Gilmore Girls, and I'm all here for it. Agatha, not one to play ball with the rest, is going to opt out of drinking the wine at first. She's going to let these dumbasses test the waters and see how it goes. And it does not go well. At first, there's a lot of swelling. The lady's faces pucker up like Will Smith's character in that movie Hitch. I guess his name is Hitch, but you know what I mean, that scene, that was a fun moment. There's nothing too fun about this episode, though, in particular. It's just kind of a lot of nothing going on. The women are just kind of frantically jogging through the house trying to find ingredients for their polyjuice potion so that they can get this shit out of their system. After the swelling goes down, the next phase starts, which is hallucination. We're going to get treated to some, I guess, scary moments, although none of it's scary. It's just some spirit-like forms of people they know from their past that are going to haunt them a little bit. One tries to drown Jennifer. A couple of them seem to be bothered, but we don't know what's going on. And then there's Joe Locke's character, just known as Teen. The witches inform Agatha that he has a sigil cast upon him. She, of course, knows this. She's been playing coy the whole time. What is the reason, though? That's the big mystery. That's really the only interesting factor of this show right now. What's so special about this kid? Well, it could be, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, that he is the son of Agatha. Because it's also revealed in this episode that Agatha at one point had a son that she gave up for the Darkhold. She traded her son for a book? Gross. And then she so not subtly in the slightest points out that Agatha probably wouldn't recognize her son if she saw him, and he wouldn't know her. And it just so happens this teenager can't say his name or where he's from. It's all just very convenient. It almost seems way too on the nose for it to be that straightforward. Like, oh, that's her son, but he can't say it and he doesn't know, and we're gonna find out at the end of this whole thing, and who cares? That's boring. But we'll give it the benefit of the doubt for now. We had a solid last week. It was a much more improved episode than the boring first. It wasn't like great by any means to me, but it was a fine watchable show. Here we are though, we're in unwatchable territory, folks. This one was just embarrassingly bad. Nothing exciting happens. They're just really rummaging through the house. Once it starts to get closer to the end of the episode, Hart straight up dies. They put her body on the table in a very funny fashion. They just like slowly slide the salt and pepper away instead of just like frantically hitting it and putting her on. They're like, ooh, let's not damage the salt and pepper shakers. They're really nice. And if you thought that antidote was going to bring her back, you'd be wrong. She's gonzo. Dead. Adios. Sayonara. Other words that mean goodbye. The biggest irony in all of this is she didn't even need to participate. Only those in the coven had to join this thing and do the wine testing. Mrs. Hart just wanted a glass because she's trying to take the edge off. Unfortunately, she took a lot more off than just the edge. Teenage boy did not get to partake because the ladies wouldn't let him because he's, and get this, underage. The evil women of the dead that conjure up demons and spirits don't want the kid to drink because he's underage. Are you out of your mind? Like, this is the most Disney shit ever. I couldn't help but shake my head. And they don't point it out once. It's pointed out like 4 times. You can't have any, you're not old enough. No wine for you, sonny boy, not until you're of age. Now go play with that Book of the Damned over there. After solving some Blue's Clues, Jennifer does get the potion made, they drink it, and they have to escape through the Hansel and Gretel oven. That's referenced earlier. This whole show basically is just going to be referencing a bunch of witch things from the past. They already mentioned a green witch with a pointed hat from Wizard of Oz. Of course, we're on the road, and now we have the oven. That's it. I think that's all that happened on the episode. Just really felt like another filler waste of time. Not really funny. The tone's not matching at all in these episodes. Maybe they're trying to do different things with the tone along with the looks and everything, but it's not really coming through for me. Like, WandaVision was super good at this. You had the time periods, you had the clothing, you had like the visual looks, the way people talk. Here it's half-assed. And it doesn't help that none of these characters are even remotely fun to watch. Outside of Agatha, who honestly just comes off as kind of a trash person, and I get that she's supposed to be an evil trash person, but not in the fun, silly way like she was in WandaVision. Here, she's just a bad friend. This is another episode with no Aubrey Plaza, so it's pretty much unwatchable from the get-go, but I did see on IMDb she is in 7 episodes. I believe there's 9 episodes this season, which means she's going to be in the rest of it, and that's good. That's a very good sign. As for this, kind of a waste of time. And now that I know every episode's going to be dedicated to one of these witches having to hone their craft, I'm actually less interested than I was before. I wish I had something more funny or exciting to say about this, but it gave me nothing to work with, folks. You have to understand how completely lame this was from front to back. Are you still on board and think, yeah, the worst days are behind it. It's going to keep getting better from here. I like the idea of this coven. These strong female leads. And honestly, for a Disney property, it's about time. I think the only way these ladies could elevate the material would be to take a page out of the Crapulite and start chanting, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Let's pour one out for the Crapulite. It was gone too soon. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. It couldn't be gone soon enough. All right, those are my thoughts on the episode. Let me know if you're on board, you're still watching this thing. Please leave a comment, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss another video, and hopefully I catch you next time. Take care.